Now it's time for another Board Game Brawl preview with Nick Meanahan, sponsored by BoardGameBliss.com.
Hey peeps, today we're going to take a look at a game that is currently seeking funding on Kickstarter. That game is actually an expansion, not a game. It is the Blood, Profit, and Glory expansion for Battle for Sularia from Punch It Entertainment. You may remember that I did a preview video for Battle for Sularia. I will actually link to that up in the top corner and down in the description section. And in those same two places, you will find links to the currently ongoing Kickstarter campaign. So you do have some time left, but definitely don't procrastinate. It's on now. Go and check it out. If you like what you see there, if you've played Battle for Sularia, or maybe you've heard of it, maybe you saw my preview before and missed out, you can also get the base game through this campaign as well, in addition to the Blood, Profit, and Glory expansion. Now, what is this expansion? Of course, it's going to add more content to the base game. You've got new cards for each of the different factions, the Scythians and the Jotun, and also mercenary cards as well. If you just want a brief capsule story of what the game is, what the original game's story was, takes place in the far future world where there's these different competing factions trying to battle over different resources. It's a competitive card game that has a lot of interesting back and forth combat mechanisms, but also resource management as well. And this expansion adds more to that, as well as some new mechanisms. So let me go ahead and give you a brief look at all the new stuff that comes in this expansion, or most of the new stuff anyways, with a prototype set of the game. So it's going to look mostly like this in the final version, but some things may change. Just keep that in mind. But then we're going to come back. I'll give you my final thoughts.
Blood, Profit, and Glory is the first expansion for Battle for Sularia. It consists of 56 cards, including new cards for the Jotun and Scythian factions, and new mercenaries, all comprised of brand new combatants, sites, tactics, and conditions. Of course, through the ongoing Kickstarter campaign, many stretch goals may be met and new cards will be unlocked, including special promo cards. As a reminder of all of this, check out my preview video of the Battle for Sularia base game if you need a refresher for how to play. But first, let's talk about the 3 brand new keywords and a special characteristic. Combatants with the bounty ability, like Gunslinger Johnny Cash here, get it, can activate this ability whenever they're allowed to take an action. They choose an enemy combatant and immediately deal their attack damage to that bounty. But then, in turn, the targeted foe deals its damage back to the bounty combatant. This is similar to the fight ability from Magic the Gathering. Johnny also has the new Quick ability, which simply means that the combatant in question will be deployed reset. Recall that normal combatants in Battle for Sularia are deployed activated, that is, they're turned 90 degrees, which means they can't attack, defend, or use abilities until they reset on their next turn. Quick combatants, therefore, can act right away. Finally, for new keywords, Berserker combatants like Verker here are very aggressive, obviously. Every time they declare an attack, their attack and defense values go up by +1. There's also a new type of combatant. This isn't so much a keyword as a characteristic. They're called warriors, like the shields of Hrothgar that are pictured here. In and of itself, this designation of warrior doesn't do anything. However, specific cards will affect warriors in particular, and if there are ever new characteristics in the future, this is how they will function. Now, let's cover just a few other cards in particular. First, the mercenaries. Dr. Leonard Timehopper lets you take an extra turn immediately after deploying him. Kaiser Omega Experiment will copy the attack, defense, and description of a card that you sack from your hand or the influence row. Crazy Joe's Explosives is a site that lets you place explosive markers on your opponent's sites, then detonate them for 4 damage each. Now onto the Jotun. Lady Wargana the Fang is a warrior with Focus 2, but what's more, she gives all of your other warriors Focus 2 as well. From Whence Thou Came is a tactic card, and it will bounce an opponent's combatant back to their hand. Finally, a couple of new Scythian cards. Solarium Flares is a condition, and with it, every time one of your Scythian tactics deals damage, you get to deal half of that damage to another target. And finally, Shield Generator Installation gives all of your Scythian sites +2 defense. There's much more than that, but that should give you an idea of what to expect. Now, on to my final thoughts.
Now, of course, I'm not going to fully reiterate my thoughts from the base game of Battle for Solaria. You can, of course, go and watch that preview video by following the link if you like. But, of course, I found it to be a very interesting and unique game that a lot of people would like who like those sort of head-to-head combative two-player games with a lot of interesting card options. And I think that if you fall into that camp, or perhaps you've already played Battle for Solaria, I think it just hit retail recently, or you were a backer of the game, and you're like, wow, I liked that game and I want to get more content for it, I think the Blood, Profit, and Glory is just really going to scratch that itch for you, because despite the fact that it's a relatively small expansion, there's so many cards here and so many ways for you to flesh out the faction decks that you've already constructed for yourself. You've got more mercenary cards, more Jotun cards, the Scythian cards, and each of the different types of cards, the combatant cards, the sites. So you've really got different options as to how you flesh out your deck, you and your opponent. On top of the fact that they have these new mechanisms, which are really interesting. So you have the whole bounty system, which is like fighting from Magic the Gathering, where you can avoid declaring an attack, but still deal direct damage to your opponent if you're willing to take that damage yourself, which could really change the face of the game. The Berserkers, who are just like, get in, murder people, get stronger just for doing so, and declaring an attack. And then the whole warrior system, which introduces this characteristic idea to the game, where now it's sort of a tribal thing, where now you can get bonuses and give bonuses to other people who share your same characteristic. It's a very interesting thing that definitely adds more depth to the game. So again, if you've already played Battle for Solaria, if you have it, if you really enjoyed it, really loved it or liked it, then definitely you want, hopefully you've already know about this and are checking it out. And if you're just kind of on the fence, not knowing whether this is going to be worth it for you, there is a lot of content here, and I think that it would be for sure. If you like what you see here, but you've never played Battle for Solaria, you don't even know that much about it, definitely check out my preview video, but more importantly, go to the Kickstarter page, because you can back both the base game and the expansion and a lot of other cool stuff as well. There's a lot of stretch goals that may potentially be unlocked during the course of the campaign to add even more cards than what I showed off here. So there's a lot of different possibilities, a lot of things that could happen here, and if you're interested, you should definitely jump on it. Go to the official Kickstarter project page in either of the links underneath me or up in the top corner of your screen. Find out more information and hopefully consider backing Battle for Solaria and Blood, Profit, and Glory, the first expansion for the game from Punch It Entertainment. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.
Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon. And make sure to check out our sponsor, Board Game Bliss, where you can find an amazing selection of games from around the world. BoardGameBliss.com. Thanks for your support.